What if I told you there are 7 simple physical tests you can do right now in your living room that science says predict exactly how many quality years you have left? I'm going to show you the exact signs researchers use to predict longevity after 70, and more importantly, how to improve each one starting today. One of these tests is so accurate that Johns Hopkins researchers call it the single most powerful predictor of survival in seniors. Russell, an 82-year-old from Minnesota, failed 5 out of 7 of these tests during his annual checkup last year. His doctor warned him his health trajectory was concerning. 8 months later, after focusing on improving just 3 of these signs, Russell's physician said his biological age reversed by nearly a decade. Sign 1. Your grip strength. The longevity handshake. The strength of your handshake reveals more about your future than almost any blood test your doctor orders. Your grip strength isn't just about opening jars or carrying groceries. It's a direct window into your overall muscle health, nervous system function, and how well your body is aging at the cellular level. Research conducted by the National Institute on Aging followed thousands of seniors for over 15 years and discovered something remarkable. Those with weaker grip strength had significantly higher rates of mortality from all causes, including heart disease, cancer, and respiratory conditions. The correlation was so strong that researchers now consider grip strength one of the most reliable biomarkers of aging. Every 11-pound decrease in your grip strength increases your mortality risk by approximately 16%, which means your handshake literally predicts how many years you have remaining. Here's why this matters so much for your longevity. Grip strength reflects the overall condition of your skeletal muscle mass throughout your entire body, not just your hands and forearms. As you age, you naturally lose muscle mass in a process called sarcopenia, which begins around age 30 and accelerates dramatically after 60. When your muscles weaken, everything becomes harder. Walking upstairs, recovering from illness, maintaining balance, and even regulating blood sugar. Weak muscles mean your body can't efficiently use glucose, which increases diabetes risk. They also mean your immune system functions less effectively because muscle tissue produces protective compounds called myokines. Studies from Duke University Medical Center show that seniors with strong grip strength recover faster from surgeries, experience fewer complications during hospital stays, and maintain independence longer than those with weak grips. Testing your grip is simple, but revealing. Wrap your dominant hand around a doorknob and squeeze as hard as you possibly can for 5 seconds. If you can't create a firm, sustained pressure, or if your hand shakes and weakens quickly, you're in the danger zone. Harold, a 73-year-old from Oregon, could barely open a jar of pickles last year and avoided social gatherings because he was embarrassed by his weak handshake. After 3 months of daily grip exercises, he now carries his own groceries without assistance and confidently shakes hands with everyone he meets. The practical solution requires no gym membership or expensive equipment. Squeeze a tennis ball or stress ball for 10 seconds, then release for 10 seconds, and repeat this cycle 10 times with each hand every single day. You can do this while watching television, talking on the phone, or sitting at your kitchen table. The improvement happens quickly because your nervous system adapts first, followed by actual muscle growth. Test and strengthen your grip starting today, not next week. Sign 2. Walking speed. Your body's truth teller. Did you know scientists can predict your remaining years by simply timing how fast you walk across a room? Your walking speed, also called gait speed, is what researchers consider a vital sign just as important as your blood pressure or heart rate. The University of Pittsburgh conducted a landmark study following over 35,000 seniors for more than a decade, and their findings were impossible to ignore. Walking speed predicted survival with stunning accuracy, better than most medical tests doctors routinely order. Seniors who walked slower than 0.8 meters per second, which is roughly 1.8 miles per hour, had significantly shortened lifespans compared to those who maintained faster speeds. The connection isn't coincidental. Your walking speed reflects your cardiovascular fitness, muscle strength, balance, coordination, and even cognitive function, all working together simultaneously. Think about what happens when you walk. Your heart pumps oxygen-rich blood to your leg muscles. Your brain coordinates thousands of muscle contractions every minute. Your balance system keeps you upright, and your joints must move smoothly through their full range of motion. Walking speed essentially measures how well all these systems are functioning as a unified whole. When any system begins to fail, whether it's your heart, lungs, muscles, nerves, or joints, your walking speed slows down noticeably before you develop obvious symptoms. Research published in the Journal of the American Medical Association shows that every 0.1 meter per second decrease in walking speed corresponds to a 12% increase in mortality risk. That means small declines in your walking pace are sending loud signals about your overall health trajectory. The good news is that walking speed is highly responsive to intervention, meaning you can improve it at any age with consistent effort. Your walking speed right now is your body telling the truth about its condition. Time yourself walking 20 feet in your home at your normal, comfortable pace. If it takes more than 10 seconds, you're walking too slowly for optimal longevity. Denise, a 69-year-old from Wisconsin, shuffled slowly everywhere she went and felt exhausted after walking to her mailbox. After committing to walk for just 15 minutes daily at a purposeful pace that made conversations slightly difficult, she now walks 2 miles every morning and recently passed her grandson racing up the stairs. The practical solution is straightforward. Walk for 15 minutes every single day at a pace that feels challenging but sustainable. You should be breathing harder than normal but still able to speak in short sentences. This moderate intensity is exactly what improves cardiovascular fitness, strengthens leg muscles, and enhances the neural coordination that controls your gait. Don't stroll leisurely, walk with purpose and intention. Pick up your pace and add years to your life immediately. Sign 3, the floor test. Getting up reveals everything. If you can't get up from the floor without using your hands, science says you're at serious risk for early mortality. This statement isn't meant to scare you. It's meant to motivate you because this test reveals crucial information about your functional fitness. Brazilian researchers developed what they call the sitting rising test, and their findings published in the European Journal of Cardiovascular Prevention shocked the medical community. They followed over 2,000 adults aged 51 to 80 for an average of 6 years and tracked their ability to sit down on the floor and rise back up without support. Those who needed to use both hands, their forearms or their knees for support, had mortality rates 5 to 6 times higher than those who could sit and rise with minimal or no assistance. The test measures multiple critical factors simultaneously: leg strength, flexibility, balance, coordination, and body awareness. Your ability to get up from the floor without help predicts your risk of falls, fractures, loss of independence, and nursing home placement. When you lose this functional capacity, everyday activities become dangerous. You can't safely play with grandchildren on the floor. You're terrified of dropping something, and you know that if you fall, getting back up might be impossible. This fear causes many seniors to restrict their activities, which creates a vicious cycle of further weakness and decline. Medical research from Johns Hopkins Hospital demonstrates that maintaining the ability to rise from the floor indicates preserved muscle power in your legs, adequate hip and ankle flexibility, good core strength, and functioning balance reflexes. Each of these components independently predicts longevity, but their combination is especially powerful. The test also measures your confidence in your body's abilities, and psychological confidence in your physical capacity is strongly associated with maintaining independence as you age. You don't need to master the full floor test immediately. Progressive improvement is what matters. Start by assessing where you currently stand. Try lowering yourself to sit in a sturdy chair without using your hands, then rise back up without hand support. Raymond, a 76-year-old from Nevada, needed to push off from furniture with both hands just to stand from his recliner last year. After practicing chair rises 3 times daily for 2 months, he now practices sitting on floor cushions and can rise with just one hand touching the ground for balance. The practical solution involves daily practice starting from your current ability level. If you need both hands to rise from a chair, practice that movement 3 times daily until you can do it with one hand, then progress to no hands. Once you master the chair, move to practicing on a low footstool, then eventually progress to floor level. Each repetition builds the exact muscle strength, flexibility, and neural coordination you need. Work on this test today because it measures your true functional age. Sign 4. Your social circle size. Connection equals years. How many people could you call right now for a meaningful conversation that would lift your spirits? The size and quality of your social network is one of the most powerful predictors of how long you'll live after 70, yet most people completely overlook this factor. The Harvard study of adult development has followed the same individuals for over 85 years, making it one of the longest studies of human life ever conducted. Their findings are unequivocal. People with strong social connections live significantly longer than those who are lonely or isolated. The effect size is massive. Social isolation increases your mortality risk by approximately 50%, which is equivalent to smoking 15 cigarettes every single day. Let that sink in for a moment. Being lonely is as dangerous to your health as heavy smoking, yet nobody talks about social connection the way they discuss exercise or diet. The biological mechanisms behind this connection are well understood. When you experience chronic loneliness, your body maintains elevated levels of stress hormones, particularly cortisol, which damages your cardiovascular system, suppresses immune function, and accelerates cognitive decline. Lonely seniors have higher rates of inflammation throughout their bodies, which contributes to arthritis, heart disease, and even cancer. Research from the University of Chicago shows that lonely individuals have disrupted sleep patterns, elevated blood pressure, and impaired immune responses to vaccines compared to socially connected peers. Conversely, strong relationships provide emotional support that buffers stress, encourages healthy behaviors, gives you reasons to take care of yourself, and literally activates healing responses in your body. When you laugh with friends, hug family members, or engage in meaningful conversation, your body releases oxytocin and endorphins that reduce pain, lower blood pressure, and improve mood. These aren't small effects. They're measurable changes that accumulate over time to dramatically impact longevity. Your social connections don't need to be vast, but they must be genuine and regular. Quality matters far more than quantity. Having 3 close friends you speak with weekly is more protective than having 30 distant acquaintances you rarely see. Lorraine, a 71-year-old from Kentucky, lived alone after her husband passed and spoke to almost nobody for weeks at a time. After joining a weekly bridge club at her community center and committing to attend every session, she now has 4 close friends, helps organize the monthly potlucks, and reports feeling 20 years younger mentally and physically. The practical solution requires intentional action starting today. Schedule 1 phone call, video chat, or in-person visit with a friend or family member every single day. Write it in your calendar like a medical appointment because it's just as important for your health. If you've lost touch with old friends, reach out this week even if it feels awkward. Join one group activity in your community, whether it's a church group, book club, exercise class, or volunteer organization. Reach out to someone today because connection literally extends your life. Sign 5, your sense of purpose. The reason to wake up seniors, who have a clear reason to get out of bed each morning, live significantly longer than those who feel their lives lack meaning or direction. Purpose isn't about grand achievements or career success. It's about feeling that your daily activities matter and that you're contributing something valuable to the world around you. Researchers at Rush University Medical Center in Chicago followed over 200 seniors for up to 7 years and assessed their sense of life purpose through detailed questionnaires. The results were striking. Those with low scores on purpose in life had more than double the mortality risk compared to those who reported a strong sense of purpose. The protective effect remained even after researchers controlled for depression, chronic diseases, and disability. Having purpose wasn't just about feeling better psychologically. It translated into actual survival advantage, measured in years of additional life. The biological pathways linking purpose to longevity involve both physical and mental health mechanisms. People with strong life purpose maintain more consistent health behaviors. They exercise regularly, eat better, sleep more soundly, and comply with medical recommendations. They also experience less stress because daily challenges feel meaningful rather than overwhelming. Brain imaging studies show that seniors with high purpose maintain better cognitive function and have larger volumes in brain regions associated with memory and planning. Research published in JAMA Psychiatry demonstrates that purposeful seniors have lower levels of inflammatory markers in their bloodstream and better immune function than those lacking purpose. Purpose also protects against depression and anxiety, both of which are independent risk factors for mortality in older adults. When you have compelling reasons to live, your body literally functions more efficiently at every level. Purpose doesn't require a complete life transformation. It emerges from finding activities that make you feel needed and valued. Think about skills you have that could benefit others. Are you good with numbers, gardening, cooking, or listening to people's problems? Someone needs exactly what you can offer. Calvin, a 78-year-old from Alabama, felt useless and invisible after retiring from his engineering career. After volunteering to tutor struggling high school students in mathematics twice weekly, he reports renewed energy, better sleep, and genuine excitement about his weekly sessions. The practical solution starts with identifying one activity that makes you feel needed and useful. Volunteer at a local food bank, hospital, library, or school. Mentor someone younger in a skill you possess. Help elderly neighbors with tasks they can't manage. Care for a pet who depends on you. Join a cause you believe in and contribute your time. The activity matters less than the feeling it generates, that your presence and participation makes a tangible difference in someone's life. Find your purpose this week because it's as protective as exercise. Sign 6, balance on one leg, the stability predictor. If you can't balance on one leg for at least 10 seconds with your eyes open, you're facing a dangerous future that you can still change. Balance is your body's ability to maintain stability while standing or moving, and it requires seamless coordination between your visual system, inner ear, muscles, joints, and brain. A study published in the British Journal of Sports Medicine examined balance in over 1,700 adults aged 51 to 75 and followed them for 7 years. Those who couldn't maintain a one-leg stand for 10 seconds had approximately double the risk of death from any cause during the follow-up period. The inability to balance even briefly indicated underlying problems with multiple body systems, including neurological function, muscle strength, and reaction time. Balance decline isn't a natural part of aging that you must accept. It's a warning sign of deterioration that responds dramatically to intervention. Poor balance directly causes falls, which are the leading cause of injury and death in Americans over 65. Every year, 1 in 4 seniors experiences a fall, and 20% of those falls cause serious injuries like broken hips or head trauma. The fear of falling becomes its own problem, causing many seniors to restrict activities, which leads to further muscle weakness and worse balance in a downward spiral. Research from the Centers for Disease Control shows that falls account for over 3 million emergency department visits annually among seniors, and hip fractures often mark the beginning of rapid decline. Only 50% of seniors who fracture a hip return to their previous level of independence. Beyond fall risk, poor balance indicates vestibular problems, peripheral neuropathy, reduced proprioception, or declining cognitive function, all conditions that independently predict mortality. Maintaining good balance requires your brain to process sensory information rapidly and coordinate muscle responses instantly, demonstrating intact neural pathways throughout your body. Testing your balance takes only seconds and provides crucial information about your fall risk and overall health status. Stand near a sturdy counter or wall for safety. Lift one foot slightly off the ground and see how long you can maintain steady balance without hopping or grabbing support. If you wobble after 3 seconds, you have significant work ahead. Wanda, a 74-year-old from Illinois, could barely balance for 5 seconds and felt terrified walking on uneven surfaces. After practicing one-leg stands daily while holding her kitchen counter for partial support, she now confidently balances for 45 seconds on each leg without any assistance, and recently went hiking with her daughter. The practical solution involves daily balance practice in a safe environment. Stand near your kitchen counter and practice balancing on one leg for 30 seconds while brushing your teeth morning and evening. Start by lightly touching the counter with one finger if needed, gradually reducing support as you improve. Once you can balance for 30 seconds easily, challenge yourself by closing your eyes for brief periods or standing on a folded towel to create an unstable surface. Test and improve your balance today before a fall changes everything. Sign 7, your resting heart rate, the internal clock. Your heart speed, when you're sitting quietly, tells doctors how efficiently your cardiovascular system functions and predicts how many years it will reliably serve you. Resting heart rate is measured when you've been sitting calmly for at least 5 minutes, and it reflects how hard your heart must work to pump blood through your body during minimal activity. Research conducted at the Mayo Clinic followed over 25,000 adults for multiple years and found clear associations between resting heart rate and mortality. Those with resting heart rates consistently above 80 beats per minute had approximately 45% higher mortality risk compared to individuals whose rate stayed below 60 beats per minute. The relationship was dose-dependent, meaning every increase in resting heart rate correlated with incrementally higher mortality risk. Your heart rate reveals the efficiency of your cardiovascular system. A lower rate indicates your heart is strong enough to pump adequate blood with fewer beats, while a higher rate suggests your heart is working harder to meet your body's needs. Understanding what drives resting heart rate helps you appreciate why it predicts longevity so accurately. Factors that elevate resting heart rate include poor cardiovascular fitness, excess body weight, chronic stress, inflammation, and conditions like diabetes or thyroid disorders. Each of these factors independently increases mortality risk, so elevated heart rate often indicates multiple underlying problems. A chronically rapid heart rate forces your cardiovascular system to work overtime even during rest, which accelerates wear and tear on your heart muscle and blood vessels. Studies from Johns Hopkins University show that seniors with elevated resting heart rates experience higher rates of heart disease, stroke, and sudden cardiac death. Conversely, a lower resting heart rate indicates strong cardiac efficiency, good oxygen delivery to tissues, and effective parasympathetic nervous system function. Athletes and highly fit individuals often have resting heart rates in the 50s or low 60s because their hearts are powerful enough to pump large volumes of blood with each beat. Measuring your resting heart rate requires no special equipment beyond a watch with a second hand or your smartphone. Sit quietly for 5 minutes, then locate your pulse on your wrist or neck and count the beats for 60 full seconds. If your rate consistently exceeds 80 beats per minute, your cardiovascular system needs attention. Franklin, an 80-year-old from Vermont, discovered his resting heart rate was 88 beats per minute during a routine checkup. After committing to walk briskly for 20 minutes 5 days weekly for 3 months, his rate dropped to 68, and he reports feeling energetic throughout the day instead of exhausted by afternoon. The practical solution for lowering resting heart rate involves regular aerobic exercise that strengthens your heart muscle. Walk at a moderate pace for 20 minutes, at least 5 days weekly. The walking should elevate your heart rate during the activity, but the training effect gradually lowers your resting rate over weeks and months. Losing excess weight, managing stress through relaxation techniques, and ensuring adequate sleep all contribute to lowering resting heart rate. Lower your heart rate starting with today's walk, not tomorrow's. These 7 signs aren't destiny, they're opportunities for improvement at any age. Your grip strength, walking speed, ability to rise from the floor, social connections, sense of purpose, balance, and resting heart rate are all completely modifiable with consistent effort. Thousands of seniors over 70 are actively extending their healthy years by focusing on these exact markers that science has proven matter most. You have genuine control over your health trajectory and longevity. Start with just 1 sign today and watch your entire future change. If this video gave you actionable insights you can use immediately, hit that like button right now. Drop a comment telling me which of these 7 signs you need to work on first. Subscribe because I'm revealing more science-backed longevity secrets specifically for seniors. Share this video with anyone over 60 who wants to add healthy years to their life. You might just save someone in your family by sharing this information today.